Hello, Kevin Duska, Prime Rogue Inc. We're here to give some updates on the Israel-Iran crisis, as it seems like we're heading closer to the possibility of full-blown war down in the Middle East, as the Haniyeh assassination fallout continues to settle, as we're getting some pretty significant rhetoric from both Tehran and from Tel Aviv, of Jerusalem, I should say. So yeah, we are seeing some developments that, for me, are indicative of an incredibly high likelihood of imminent conflict. It's currently 9:44 Eastern, 7:44 Mountain. On the first, some people are anticipating that some action is going to start tonight. I don't like to make daily predictions regarding the exact timing of ops, but based on a few factors, considering that it is already 4:45 a.m. in Israel, and that dawn in Israel is going to be at 5:30 in an hour and less than an hour. I see it as highly unlikely we're going to see kinetic action tonight. Now, if we look at the Israeli moon phase calendar, I don't know if we're going to see anything interesting in the coming days, because we know that Iran's, how could we put it, margin for action is somewhat limited. Oh, we've got a new moon coming on the 4th. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. So let's see if we can look at the moon calendar. I would be shocked if the initiation of this happened after the 4th. You're not going to want to start this after a new moon. I mean, if you're talking about newer tech, it's not like the Iranians are going to be sending their F-14s down there, their old F-14s. Be drone storm, ballistic missiles, I anticipate. So we're going to have this new moon on August 4th, meaning we are past the third quarter of the moon, which is on the 28th. Personally, I'm anticipating that action's going to take place on the night of the 2nd. So Friday night going into Saturday morning, that would be local time over there in Iran and Israel. So my computer's deciding to be a little crazy. So if we look at time in Iran right now, I believe it's the same as the time in Israel. No, it's off by a bit. No, it's the same. I'm sorry. I would anticipate that we're going to start seeing activity in 18 to 20 hours. That's my personal belief. Haniyeh is being buried in Qatar today. Hezbollah did launch its first missile barrage in 48 hours. And again, we're hitting up OSINT Defender for this. You should drop him a follow on Twitter. He's a really good OSINT aggregator. Don't necessarily share all his political beliefs, but he aggregates very well. We're seeing some Iron Dome interceptions here over the Upper Galilee in northwest Israel. And again, the dog's barking, poor doggy. We are noticing that we had not had any Hezbollah missile activity for 48 hours. When 0 hour approaches, I am personally anticipating that we are going to see massive rocket barrages from Hezbollah. That is likely to be accompanied by longer range stuff launched from Iran, launched from Syria. We might see some launches from Gaza. I don't know what the operational situation in the region, in that particular sub-region, is right now. I think the Israelis have got it pretty locked down with their ground forces. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a stray missile or rocket launched here and there, but I'm not expecting significant stuff coming out of Gaza. My opinion, and I'm going to do another post a little bit later talking about the systems that we're likely to see deployed, but I'm anticipating that we're going to see recurrent barrages coming out of Lebanon, various launch sites in Lebanon, including ones further to the north. I think we're going to see some longer range missiles being launched by Hezbollah. Mind you, the Hezbollah missile arsenal is huge. I forget the exact number. I don't want to quote it erroneously, but was it in fact? Yeah. So basically, total rocket count is between 40 to 120. 100,000 is what I wanted to say. We also know, and I don't know if I have sourcing on this or if I can find it, but there was an Israeli jet flying over southern Lebanon today, and the Lebanese took a pot shot, not the Lebanese, sorry, Hezbollah took a pot shot at it with some kind of, presumably a man-pad. It might have been Israel Radar that posted this, I'm not sure. Let's see. I'll drop that in the comment descriptions as well. So they're also reporting multiple rockets were fired at northern Israel from Lebanon after a 48-hour break. And I think that 48-hour break is critical because Nasrallah had been mentioning that, that's what was going to happen. We do have, from the Israeli point of view, that yes, soldiers at posts, including reservists, have been ordered into underground bunkers. Aircrafts are on alert, apparently on the tarmac. Netanyahu is working in the phones. Essentially, Israel's acting as if they have intel, which I would believe suggesting that an attack is inevitable. Endgame World War III was reporting that U.S. officials of the Pentagon and CNN, Iran is launching an attack in the next 72 hours. Again, I'm calling it for tomorrow, or 18 to 20 hours from now. So here, let's read what Israel Radar is saying, that the advantage of Hezbollah being stronger than Hamas versus the IDF's advantages. Hezbollah is the world's most well-armed terror group, stronger than many national armies. That is entirely correct. It's huge, has a missile and rocket arsenal. Even has some naval stuff that hasn't yet really played a significant role. They have the elite Radwan unit, tens of thousands of fighters that they can draw on. These people are trained, equipped paramilitaries. Russia's a bit of a wild card here. Russia supports Iran. Iran supports Russia with the Shahed drones we've seen deployed in Ukraine. Russia won't enter this directly, but I would not be surprised to see some kind of Russian proxy support coming in. But at the same time, I mean, the IDF is the IDF, and it's backed by the United States. There have been numerous rehearsed drills regarding a Northern Front war, despite the fact that Bibi has clearly been looking for this. Benjamin Netanyahu's been looking for this type of excuse for a while, as have the far right, which are part of his governing coalition. It doesn't change the fact that the IDF have a lot more juice in their orange, if we want to use that expression, to make the juice, the squeeze worth the juice worth the squeeze, whatever. Ben Gurion is almost empty right now. OSINT Defender reports we've got the Defense Ministry that is essentially suggesting, because apparently Israelis who are not in Israel want to come back, some of these are probably reservists who have obligations, that they're going to start using military cargo transport planes to pick Israelis up from abroad, not necessarily to evacuate anybody. We also got confirmation today that the attack that took out Hanya was not a standoff distance F-35 strike, as many people, including myself, had thought. In fact, I'm presuming this was Mossad. It smells like Mossad. And if it smells like Mossad, it probably is Mossad. The story as it goes is that a explosive device was snuck into this guest house. I don't know if it was in anticipation of Hanya or some other VIP being there, but that it was snuck in 2 months ago and deployed specifically for this operation, which is either remarkable foresight on the part of the Israeli intelligence services or further indication that there might be compromised a greater number of compromised assets over in Iran than we might know. Again, the regime in Iran is not super popular. There's hyperinflation. Mossad is one of the better intel agencies out there as it comes to cultivating foreign sources. They use a lot of, shall we say, methods that even the Americans would stay away from. So I think that's critical to take into consideration. What else do we have? Right. Again, we're going with OSINT Defender reporting. I mean, I've read this elsewhere, but it's just really convenient to go to OSINT Defender's page. And again, I'll put a link to him in the description. So the main U.S. asset in theater is the USS Theodore Roosevelt. It has 6 Arleigh Burke destroyers, which have significant anti-missile capability. The WASP amphibious group, and again, the WASP is an amphibious carrier, is also in the area of operations. It is likely to engage in probable civilian evacuations of American and potentially other foreign nationals from Lebanon. Let's see if we can do some ship tracking here. I haven't done ship tracking in a while. I want to see if we know where the USS Wasp is right now. We can also potentially see where the Roosevelt carrier group is, although I think they generally ping off. I'm not sure. This is not something that I regularly do. So let's get down here and off the coast of... My god, I was mistaken the water from... I was confusing the water and I'm still doing it. It's like the land versus the water. It's kind of inverted because, you know, whatever. So, Vento in Papa. Let's see what else we've got. The Tennis, Seaview, Great Britain. This is nothing meaningful. Lodestar, Capella, Alexandria, Kemal Kapu, Carmelia. No, what are these guys? Evolution. These just nothing of significance. The Phoenix. C for orders. Okay. Let's zoom back in and see if we can search. And again, I doubt it's pinging, but sometimes they'll ping. Or we could just go to most tracked vessels. Again, marinetraffic.com. Great source for this. Is the Wasp actually pinging? So it is sailing from Rota to unknown. Clearly. Let's see where it is. Reported 10 days ago in the Aegean Sea. It's not going to be visible on the live map. It'd be really stupid if it was. But we can get an idea as to where it is going to be placed. So yeah. Oh, right. I remember this. It was off Crete a couple of days ago. So I am presuming that it is currently sailing from Crete, which is a staging base for most NATO operations, and it will be sailing down to this area here. In terms of transit time, let's see what the transit time from Crete to... We could just ask ChatGPT. We're going to just check the transit time from the island of Crete to the coast of Lebanon. But this ship is going to be critical, and it has... I don't know if the Wasp has, but similar American assets have been used in the past for large-scale civilian evacuations. And just now my computer decides that it is going to take a dump. Really? Marine traffic, you're unresponsive? That's not cool. We can check the Roosevelt while we're looking for the Wasp's transit time. What would the transit time for the USS Wasp be from Crete to Beirut? We're generally going to get a pretty accurate answer from ChatGPT about these things, which shows you why Prime Rogue Inc. is so focused on AI integration into, well, we do human intelligence stuff, but into all areas of intel. So, nautical miles is 670 kilometers, 360 nautical miles, cruising speed of 20 knots. So we're talking about a transit time of 18 hours. I believe it's probably already left Crete, so it won't take long for it to get there. That's clear. Now let's check if we know the last known position of the Roosevelt and the accompanying carrier group. This is CVN 71. Telegram is buzzing with garbage. I need to unsubscribe from so many things. Alright, where is the Roosevelt? It left Tanamera on May 24th. And view on live map. It was in the Malacca Strait 25 days ago. It's not super helpful. Is that going to be our last known position for it? Yeah, it's going to be in the Strait of Malacca near Kuala Lumpur. It is not there. I can tell you that much. This is not a live ping. This is its last known location. Let's see if we have any Twitterati's who are sharing the current location of the Roosevelt, or a closer approximation. Roosevelt position. There we go. Ezekiel 38 News, another pretty decent Twitter account, is suggesting that it is now closer to Cyprus, which is where I would assume it would be. So it's also I guess, 12 to 16 hour steam away from the coast of Lebanon. So it's right inside the operational zone that the Aegis destroyers that are accompanying it would need to be in to help the Israelis knock out potential ballistic missiles shot by Iran or by its proxies in Yemen, in Lebanon, or elsewhere. So that is probably some more accurate positioning. Again, I'm not sure. Like, this is not a completely reliable source, but I would be pretty confident that this is accurate. July 31st, someone else is reporting that it's in the Gulf proper. This would be surprising to me. This positioning, well, it depends what their plan for launch is, but I don't think this is the Roosevelt. Oh wait, or is this? Oh, that is the Roosevelt. I'm pretty sure that the positioning that has it between Cyprus and the coast of Lebanon is more accurate, although there is an argument to have it in the Gulf to get an earlier lock on potential Iranian launches. Either way, it's where it needs to be, and we know that the USS Wasp is also where it needs to be in terms of the type of positioning that would be germane to removing civilians from the region. Now, if we go back to OSINT Defender, there were a few more interesting elements. The earlier rocket barrage, the IDF already responded to it. Again, they like to publicize their counterstrikes. I mean, we don't know if anything was hit or if the right spot was hit, but they do tend to ping these pretty well. 61% of Israelis are currently supporting a preemptive strike against Iran and the quote-unquote axis of resistance, which is showing significant rally around the flag effect in relation to Netanyahu, which does surprise me a bit considering the degree of discontent domestically that had been present in relation to the hostages and his handling of that. But essentially, from my point of view, this is exactly what Bibi was doing by committing Israel to a longer-term war in the region. Some might say a forever war. He is avoiding his domestic political challenges, and he is earnestly working in a manner that will help him, his agenda more than anything else, in my opinion, vis-a-vis any potential threats. Oh, and here's the report. Yeah, so there was missile fire from a Hezbollah surface-to-air system, but I mean, hitting an Israeli, whether it was an F-15E or an F-35, doubtful. Well, it could have been an F-35. I would have been shocked if it had hit. Oh, this is news. This is breaking. Wow. See, in my previous video on scenario 3.75, I was talking about Turkey being able to have a wild card here, talking about the Arab Street. So tomorrow, or it's already tomorrow there now. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Turkey has declared the 2nd to be a national day of mourning for Ismail Haniyeh. So that is super interesting in terms of demonstrating that there's significantly a cleavage inside of NATO, because I can sure as hell tell you that I don't think very many very many NATO members are mourning the death of Haniyeh. So this is actually some very, very interesting news, and I think it falls in with what I was telling you guys yesterday about my own anticipations regarding the potential role that the Arab Street is going to play in terms of exercising endogenous domestic political pressure on national governments in a manner that's going to be it's not going to force them, but it's going to impose pressure so that they do something to challenge Israel, especially if Israel starts engaging in the same types of human rights abuses that were so ubiquitous in its Gaza operations. It's currently 8 p.m. here in Calgary. I am going to be doing a weapons system broadcast in the next couple of hours. This is going to go up now. We're going to be keeping close track of the situation in the region as it evolves. If things go hog wild, we're going to be live on Twitch doing this in real time. If you like our analysis, if you like our aggregation, and again, shout out to OSINT Defender and the other OSINT accounts that we took a look at. Please drop us a like and a follow here on, I don't know if it's a follow or a subscribe. It's a follow on Twitch. It might be a subscribe here. Whichever one doesn't cost you money, feel free to do so. We have some other exciting content coming in the next couple of days, and yeah, thank you for being here. And again, as per usual, think about these events and govern yourself and govern your portfolio accordingly, because I think we are heading towards chaos.